Alright, today's Thursday, which means we got a twid. Most of it's not important like usual, just a bunch of junk. But we do have something cool. Could be better, but it's not bad. It's swording time. Swords are cool, they make you feel like a knight. I was thinking more of like chaos, but whatever. Put you in third person for more precise jumping during puzzles. Can be used for some crazy, almost illegal feats. There's some accuracy in that. And they do great damage to bosses, so why not honor them with a week-long event? Well, that's what we are about to do. Starting September 3rd, all swords in the heavy ammo slot will generate ammo for a whole week. That is until reset time on September 10th. We want you to have some extra fun while wielding a blade, but not so much that it trivializes raids or competitive game mode. So your swords will have effectively infinite ammo and seasonal content, strikes, nightfalls, Gambit, and Relic game mode in the Crucible, and Legend and Master Lost sectors. 4 seasonal challenges during this event will be focused on getting kills with swords on some of those activities, so it's the perk combo if you need some extra XP to reach level 200 on your season pass. Okay, so I like they're making this event thing. It's kind of like the Telesto event we had, except let's go over the uselessness of this. Seasonal content. The only reason you're going to use a sword in seasonal content is for movement, but you're going to have to switch to a machine gun or something for damage, or a rocket, or linear, anything, grenade launcher, anything for damage eventually. You can definitely use a sword for some of it, but like the harder content for the seasonal content, you're going to have to use something to do damage and clear ads and stuff. Sword's good for certain parts, but then eventually you're going to have to put something else on. And I might as well just use a machine gun for ad clearing, or a rocket for some damage against the bigger guys, or a grenade launcher, or linear even if you want. So, kind of pointless. I hate to point it out, but personally I love using swords in PvE for movement, but the seasonal stuff's kind of a pain in the ass. Strikes, yeah, strikes. But, again, you'd use it more for eager edge for movement than you really use for damage. You'd use like a special or something for damage, like the sniper and stuff, so cool and infinite ammo for, strikes for movement, but nightfalls, lower in nightfalls, sure, but I guarantee you a lot of blueberries see you running around with a sword, and then lower in nightfall they're going to leave, because they do. For some reason, nightfall players are elitists, or strikes. They think they have to have the best shit, and everyone has to have it on the team, or it's not worth it. This includes GMs. And GMs, you sure as hell ain't going to take a sword in unless you're crazy. And it could definitely work if it's depending on the GM and depending on the team. If you have a good team that knows what they're doing and smart, then you could do it. But it's not really practical, so really dumb. Gambit, again, purely for movement. Maybe you have a movement and a slight damage one, so you get some damage in too, which is cool. It's fine. But again, cool damage. Gambit, currently, if you have a div with the sniper for the hunter with Celestial, you'll nuke the bosses. You get the Titans throwing action, nuke the bosses. Grenade launchers obliterate the health on the bosses. So, you see the point? So it purely is movement, which you get plenty of ammo right off the bat anyways, just for opening the first chests where movement's not a problem at all. So, pointless. The Relic game mode in the Crucible, okay, that's kind of cool, infinite ammo spam. It kind of, that I can agree with, kind of is cool. But then again, the only way you're going to use a sword in that is, again, if it's eager edge. But then you've got relics that block eager edge, like the shield. You've got the teleporting javelin throw thing, the spear, and that fucks people up. And then you've got the solar scythe, which needs to be a weapon still. So, yeah, cool in theory, but in practicality, kind of pointless. And then Legend and Master Lost sectors. If you have light, yeah, you could probably use a sword to kill some of the bosses, but some of the bosses are floating bosses, and a sword ain't going to be smart against, so it's kind of pointless. Again, better use a grenade launcher, linear rocket, or even a machine gun. But, so, yeah. And Master is risky to go in with a sword. Definitely could do it. Don't get me wrong, you could definitely do it. I've done it plenty of times with a sword already. But Usually, if you want to do it quickly, you take like a rocket and obliterate the boss's health in like 3 rockets. Because that's usually all it takes with bait and switch. It's like 3 rockets and it's dead. Whereas a sword, you're going to take a chunk out and that's it. But it's not going to be a huge chunk quickly, and there's ad spawn and stuff. So if you want to be quick, usually a grenade launcher or rocket's the way to go. Even a machine gun can nuke it pretty quick if you get a damage stack on it. So, yeah. Yeah, no. Dungeons, this could have been good for. For boss, a lot of the dungeons, there are a lot of bosses that are on the ground, so it could work perfectly. There are some in the sky, obviously, but overall, most of them are pretty much on the ground. So if it was infinite ammo in dungeons, I think it'd work great, because then you could switch between a movement sword to get to the encounters, and then for boss encounters, you switch to a damage sword. And that could work good. There's a few dungeons that don't have ground bosses, but a lot of them do, so this could work pretty fucking well in. So they really should add it to dungeons. Raids, I could get where there could be a problem, but at the same time, usually you have plenty of fucking ammo for a sword in a raid. If you don't one-phase it, you usually find enough ammo on the ground to get enough to two-phase it, if there's it. Because not every boss is going to be good to use a sword against, so. Plus, we're currently in more of a special meta because of the sniper, so, especially on hunters, so. Yeah, and plus the special linear as well. The new one from the raid, that thing is great for damage too for warlocks. So, Titans could use some, but you don't really need to use it. The sniper even on a Titan's broken, so that a nerf didn't do a lot. I mean, it did some, but it still definitely dominates the field without a doubt. So, in my opinion, I think it's definitely would be better in dungeons and even some raids just to have fun with. Master raids, maybe don't let it have infinite ammo, because then it's, easier challenge. But I feel like normal raids, who the fuck cares, Bungie? It's a normal fucking raid. Most people, most groups, even bad groups, can do it with their eyes closed. Like, shit. Even the new raid. I've done plenty of blueberries, and even the ones that suck at damage, or the ones that are better at meter damage, or the ones that can't do mechanic well, even they can do enough damage usually to 2 to 3 phase at most. So, not really that big of a deal. So I don't know why we really don't let it in raids. Yeah, Master I think should definitely stay out of, but normal, why not? Dungeons, normal dungeons, same thing. Like Master dungeons, fine, make it a little bit more of a skill thing, and you don't use infinite sword. Fine, I'm fine with that idea completely. But normal should be completely fine. I do not understand why that's a problem. Personally, I think that's dumb. I think everything else that's in is pointless, but purely if it was in dungeons and raids for normal, I think it'd be fun. It'd make them go a lot more fun. You could be switching between the speed ones, / movement ones, / damage ones constantly. And you could have a blast with that, and it could be fun and dumb, and you could do some crazy things with it. I do think that needs to change. That's my opinion, obviously, but I do think it's a cool event. I do think I'll probably be using it in any of these still, but personally, I do feel like they should let it in dungeons and raids for normal. I think that would be the best option. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, obviously as well, we got a little emblem you get. And while you are doing some crazy plays with swords, why don't you record yourself doing so and share it with us? We want the whole community to embrace this special sword week. They should say heavy sword week, even though I know it's special. I'm just saying it'd be a funny word play, but whatever. When we say crazy, we mean things like defeating flying bosses with caster frame swords. See, cast frame swords could be okay for flying bosses. I'd give it to you. Potential there. Potential. Going full stealth on a certain moth-infested cyst with Heart Shadow, completing a Grandmaster Nightfall only with Lament. Again, GMs is really dumb to try to do that on. I mean, there's a couple of them you could make swords work, but most of them it'd be a bad idea to use a sword on, so it really depends on which one it is for that week. We'll see. Hunting Guardians down in Gambit with an eager-edged sword, just to think outside the box for this one, because we've seen enough wells getting skipped for a lifetime. The best way, if you want to do it, caster frame. Wait for him to go for the point, throw a caster frame at the point. It maps. Those things have some ridiculous range. I didn't realize how far they go until, well, you see it happen, and you're like, what the fuck? It'd be a little fun thing. Would there ever find a boss, just throw it at it? Heck, just throw one generally in a general area, someone might walk into it, A little bit of a dumb thing, but why not? To participate, just use the hashtag SwordLogic hashtag on your social platform of choice. I wonder if that includes YouTube, or not really sure. We'll pick our favorites once the event is over and announce the winners in the September 12th TWID. The prize is double the patronization. photonization, photonization. Ugh, English. And the movie of the week emblems. So you get these two emblems, which is cool. I like this one and this one. They both look nice, so I'll give it to them. But yeah, so I do think they need to allow it in dungeons and in raids and normal. I think it'd be completely fine and fun and dumb. So I would recommend it, Bungie. Could you imagine having caster frame swords against the witness? Like they allow you to do it and you could just spam it infinitely? Like Bungie, come on. We know they're not gonna do a shit ton of damage to the witness. So what's the harm? Let us have some fun with that. That's all I'm saying. Let us have some fun with that. That's just my opinion on it. Hopefully Bungie actually, enough people complain about it and Bungie does some. The rest of this is not too great. It's normal basic stuff. The Pathfinder thing again, which I'm happy about. They're also doing the thing for Guardians, obviously, the let's do something good thing, which actually is a cool emblem. I'll give it to you. It kind of looks like a light bulb, though, like a skull light bulb mix. I might be tripping balls there, but I swear it looks like a light bulb skull. Tripping, who knows? Twit's pretty basic. I'm still waiting if we're going to get an announcement of what the next saga of Destiny is going to be. I know we got all the leaks and stuff. I really wish Bungie would just confirm it finally, or deny it, or say, hey, you know what, we realize people don't like this, we changed it, but I doubt we're ever going to get that. At this rate, we're this far into the month when they should have already advertised for it a month or two ago. It tells me we're not going to get anything for a very long time, sadly. So, unfortunate. Bungie in a nutshell for you, though. What's new? But yeah, so that's the Twid. Nothing too special. Like I said, the sword thing is the funnest thing. I hope they actually add it to dungeons and raids for normal. I really hope Bungie does that. We will see. Anyways, y'all have a good day. We out. That's the video for today. Thanks for watching. Swords would be fun in a raid and dungeon, I will say. So, we'll see what they do. You have a good day. We out. Adios.